I'm giving away some of my work, including this tool chest. So let me tell you why. I have what I think is probably a pretty stupid idea. And, well, I want to see if it works. So let's just get busy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get in that comment section and start talking about how I routed these dovetails and therefore it's not good or better than whatever you can do. And you should. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now. Here's the deal. I'm going to explain why I'm making this crate shortly, what's going to go into it, and the fact that I am giving it away in order for somebody to have what I will consider a toolbox. So I'll tell you two things. Number one, I didn't feel like hand cutting dovetails because I'm just going to give this thing away in short order. And number two, I'll be honest, I just kind of felt like playing with the lead jig because I don't do it very often. So don't at me, bro. Don't do it. All right, well, let me try to articulate exactly what I have going on in my mind and what I'm building. So I have this cabinet, and I've had it for a little over a year. It's been done. I did it during a class at Mark Adams in 2024, and I've really not known what to do with it. I don't need another whiskey cabinet, and realistically, it's a class piece, so the carving is not necessarily as perfect as I would want it to be a gallery piece, but it's not a bad little object. And the more I've sat with it, the more I decided I want to give it away and raise some money for what I think is a good cause. Now, you'll have the opportunity to win this cabinet later on in this video, and we will get there. But what happens now is I'm in a pickle because what I thought would be a fun idea to do is to build a crate for said cabinet to ship it to whomever wins this cabinet. And I decided to do it at a pine for a number of reasons. Number one, pine is light, keep shipping weights down. Number two, I can make an object that could be usable rather than just discarding a crate. So I'm trying to build a toolbox or a travel toolbox or whatever, any small chest of objects, I suppose, for whoever takes home said cabinet. Now, the pickle that I'm in is I started making this thing based on the dimensions of this cabinet, and I just realized, literally just now, that being the only pine board I have left, I don't have enough to do all of the things. I need to make a bottom and I need to make a top. This cabinet or this box is roughly 36 by 12. That board is 75 inches, so a little more than 6 feet, great, by 10 inches wide. Now, while we wait for glue to dry, I want to take a moment and talk to you guys about what it's like to actually run a small business. I'm a self-employed furniture maker, and that means I do a whole lot more than just woodworking. I'm an accountant, I'm a janitor, I'm a brand rep, I'm even the HR department sometimes if Larissa gets mad enough at me. But what I don't have is someone to help ensure the business is headed in the right direction. A career coach, if you will. And thankfully that's changed now that I've partnered with Strawberry.me, the sponsor of this week's video. Strawberry.me connects you with certified career coaches who help you move forward in your career growth, whether that means landing a promotion, switching industries, or starting your woodworking business. Coaching at Strawberry.me is collaborative, results-driven, and rooted in proven methodologies like cognitive behavioral coaching, motivational interviewing, and goal-oriented models. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that self-employment is a natural fit for me.
It's great for some people, but I struggle to separate the professional from the personal. And so I recently had a coaching session wherein we talked about boundary setting, time management, and realistic goal setting. And she did a really wonderful job of creating an environment where I felt both challenged and supported. And she's just one of many certified career coaches who can help you feel both motivated and supported.
Coaches can help you build a personalized plan that you actually stick to. Plus, it's easy to start. Scheduling is flexible and sessions are virtual, so it's easy to fit your schedule. And having a coach feels like having a strategic partner who's invested in your success. So stop waiting for your dreams to happen to you and start making them happen for yourself. Get matched with a certified career coach at strawberry.me/ENCurtis to get 50% off your first week. That's strawberry.me/ENCurtis to get 50% off your first week and start working smarter to build your business. And thanks to strawberry.me for sponsoring this week's video.
All right, enough tomfoolery and hijinks. Let's get into what I'm actually trying to do and why I'm giving this cabinet in this tool crate away. A few years ago, a friend of mine, Nancy Drum, shot me a text message, and she said, "Hey, I have this idea for a place called the Restoration Station. At Maker Camp, I want to get all kinds of used and abused tools and have a station for folks to learn how to rehab old hand tools and learn how to use them and learn some basic woodworking techniques. And then once they've put in the hours to restore this hand plane, which will help them along with, they can just take it home and they can have it and they can understand the value of rehabbing old tools and kind of start to build their collection at no cost to them." And immediately I was like, this is a brilliant idea. Let's do this. I love hand tools. I love restoring old hand tools. I love teaching people how to use hand tools, how to build furniture, et cetera, et cetera. And Maker Camp is just a great time had by all. So for the last 3 years now, every October, we go up to the Catskills and we spend the weekend at Maker Camp running the restoration station along with probably close to a dozen other people at this point. And it's a great time. Like, people really have some, I don't know, maybe important experiences there. Like the first time you restore a hand tool and actually feel what it's like to use a sharp tool and then know that you are the one who did that, that's an empowering experience. And I want to make sure that that continues on. And Nancy has paid for the entire thing out of pocket for the last 3 years. And when I told her that I wanted to do something to contribute to the restoration station, she told me not to. And I told her to bugger off because we're good buddies and I can just be like, shut up. Like, I don't, she's going to continue to pay for it out of pocket. And I have no illusion that doing a raffle for a cabinet is going to pay the entire bill. But I want to relieve her a little bit of that. And I feel like I should contribute to that in some way financially if I can. And also, maybe it gives us the budget to do something a little more special next year. Like, I don't know how it's going to get implemented, but what I do know is the teaching, the passing on of knowledge, the empowerment that happens for people once they start working with hand tools and know what a sharp tool feels like that needs to carry on, whether at Maker Camp or elsewhere. But this is just the vehicle that I have to contribute to the greater conversation and the preservation of the craft that I love. So that's what's going on. That's what we're doing here, friends. I hope that's reason enough for you to buy a couple of raffle tickets.
well. Let me say two things. First and foremost, you know you've really leaned into middle age when you get genuinely excited that a new hardware store is opened up walking distance from your house. There's something about that, and it not being one of the big orange or blue box stores, that I had a real nice moment this morning, and I was like, oh.
I'm old now.
I'm old.
That said, that aside, this is basically done. Everything's sanded. I need to chamfer the edges a little bit, put a couple of small details on there. But the action is really nice. This little relief done with the Forstner bit. Easy peasy, quick, dirty. And otherwise, I think I'm just going to throw some shellac on this thing and call it a day, because at the end of the day, it is what I hope will be a toolbox. I mean, whoever wins it can use it for whatever they want, obviously, but I am under the impression that it will be used as a toolbox because it's also a shipping crate and probably will take damage in transit. That's what I'm assuming. All that said, while I get the final details on this, I want to tell you guys about how you can go about winning both the cabinet and this box.
All right, I am going to try to keep this as straightforward as I possibly can. The raffle will run from Saturday, November 8th, 2025, when this video drops, for 3 weeks until Saturday, November 29th at 8 p.m. You can buy tickets at any point during that window. And then on the 29th, I will take all of that information, I will put it into a spreadsheet, and I will do a randomized drawing to see who wins this object. And the other two bonus objects that I haven't mentioned in this video, which you can check out on Patreon. Which brings me to my next point. You do have to be a patron to enter this drawing. You do not have to be a paid patron. You can use the free account on Patreon, but I'm just, for the logistical purposes, trying to limit everything to a single platform. So we're going to do it on Patreon. That's where I will announce the winner. And if you are a paid patron, you will get bonus tickets according to what tier you are paying at. So, for example, a $5 a month patron will get 5 bonus tickets, and a $25 a month patron will get 25 bonus tickets. All of this information will be on Patreon. I will have a dedicated video post there where you can find out how you can actually send me the money, which will be on Venmo, and we can raise some money for the restoration station.
So, friends, that is that. If you want to support the cause, if you want to win yourself a cabinet and or a toolbox, well, both of those things, but I suppose they could be, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part of the raffle, then you can head on over to Patreon. You can find that link down below. And, we can continue to support new people learning different parts of the craft and preserve the traditions that we hold so dear to our hearts. And I was aggressive, but that's fine. While these are for everybody, as long as you have a Patreon account, free or paid, there are a couple of bonus gifts for my patrons who do support the channel financially, namely this box made from ghost maple and rosewood, which is a really lovely little object, and this cutting board, which I made from the seconds from the fine woodworking article where I made a chessboard. I went ahead and took the secondary pieces and made a little cutting board from it. So my paid patrons who enter the raffle who don't win these objects, I will do secondary drawings for them to have a little holiday present of their own. So thanks, friends. I hope this was useful for you. I hope it was entertaining. If nothing else, I hope something you can take away from it, raffle notwithstanding, is that a tool chest can be as simple as a pine box. Doesn't even have to be dovetailed. Just has to be something to put your tools in, and it doesn't always have to be something that we idolize, like this big fancy tool cabinet that hangs up on the wall. Just make a pine box, put them in there, and start making furniture, because there are a ton of good woodworking practices in this little object right here, which is now going to be a shipping crate. So, friends, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Go make a thing and try to enjoy it if you can. And be warm and well fed. Cheers.